What if I told you that we've mapped the surface of Mars in more detail than the bottom of our own oceans? It sounds wrong. The ocean is right here, covering more than 70% of Earth, yet most of it remains unexplored. At the same time, we've sent machines millions of kilometers into space, landed on the Moon, and are planning missions to Mars. So naturally, the question comes up, why did we shift our focus away from the oceans and towards space? Was it a logical decision based on science and technology? Or is there something deeper behind it? To understand this, you need to fix a common misconception first. Exploration of the oceans didn't suddenly stop. It was never fully developed to begin with. Ocean exploration has always been limited, slow, and extremely difficult, not because humans didn't care, but because the environment itself makes it one of the hardest places to study on Earth. The biggest reason is pressure. As you go deeper underwater, pressure increases rapidly. For every 10 meters, pressure increases by 1 atmosphere. At extreme depths, like the Challenger Deep in the Mariana Trench, the pressure is over 1,000 times what we experience on land. That's enough to crush most materials instantly. Even advanced submersibles need extremely thick, reinforced hulls just to survive for a short time. One small crack, one minor failure, and everything collapses instantly. Now compare that to space. Space is often described as more dangerous, but from an engineering perspective, it's actually more predictable. In space, the main challenge is vacuum and radiation. You build a sealed environment, control temperature, and you're relatively stable. There's no crushing force constantly trying to destroy your equipment. In the deep ocean, the environment is actively working against you at all times. Everything you send down has to fight against pressure, corrosion, darkness, and extreme cold simultaneously. That combination makes deep-sea exploration far more mechanically stressful than space exploration. Another major challenge is visibility and navigation. In space, once you leave Earth's atmosphere, you can see clearly across massive distances. Telescopes can observe planets, stars, and galaxies with precision. But in the ocean, light disappears quickly. Sunlight can only penetrate about 200 meters. Below that, it's complete darkness. Cameras become less effective and navigation becomes difficult. You can't rely on GPS underwater, and radio waves don't travel well through water. Instead, scientists use sound waves, sonar, to map the ocean floor. But sonar provides less detail compared to direct imaging. So instead of seeing clearly, you're constantly interpreting signals in an environment where you can't fully see what's around you. Now let's talk about cost and motivation. During the mid-20th century, space exploration wasn't just about science. It was driven by competition. The Cold War created a race between global powers to dominate space. Being first to launch a satellite, first to send a human into orbit, first to land on the Moon. These weren't just scientific achievements, they were political statements. Governments poured massive funding into space programs because the payoff was global influence and technological superiority. Agencies like NASA became symbols of national power. Ocean exploration never had that same urgency. Discovering something in the deep sea doesn't create the same global impact as landing on another world. So funding for ocean research remained smaller, slower, and less consistent. That doesn't mean the oceans were ignored. Organizations like NOAA and research groups such as Ocean Exploration Trust have continued exploring the seas using advanced tools like remotely operated vehicles, autonomous submarines, and sonar mapping systems. But these missions don't get the same attention. You don't see global broadcasts for a deep-sea robot descending into darkness. Space launches are visible, dramatic, and easy to turn into media events. Ocean exploration happens silently, far below the surface, where nothing can be seen directly. Now let's go deeper into the technical difficulties. The ocean is not just deep, it's unpredictable. The sea floor is filled with trenches, underwater mountains, volcanic vents, and shifting terrain. Currents can push equipment off course. Salt water corrodes materials over time. Electronics fail more frequently due to pressure and temperature. Even communication is limited. Since radio waves don't travel well underwater, scientists rely on acoustic signals, which are slower and less reliable. This means real-time control is harder, and missions require more autonomy and precision. Then there's the issue of time. Mapping the ocean floor in high detail is extremely slow. Satellites can estimate shapes based on gravity variations, but accurate mapping requires physically scanning areas using sonar. This process takes years. Even today, a large portion of the ocean floor remains poorly mapped. It's not because we're hiding it. It's because it takes an enormous amount of effort and resources to do it properly. Now this is where conspiracy theories start to appear. When people hear that we've explored less than 25% of the ocean in detail, they start asking questions. Why explore distant planets when we haven't fully explored our own planet? Some believe that the shift toward space wasn't just about science, but about avoiding something beneath the oceans. Theories suggest that deep-sea exploration may have uncovered unknown life forms, massive creatures, or even structures that don't match natural geology. Others claim there could be hidden ecosystems or phenomena that governments choose not to disclose. Some of the more extreme theories suggest the existence of ancient underwater civilizations or artificial structures deep beneath the ocean floor, places we either cannot reach or are intentionally avoiding. These ideas often gain attention because the ocean is one of the last unexplored places on Earth. And when something is unknown, people naturally fill that gap with speculation. But here's the reality. There is no verified scientific evidence supporting these claims. The deep ocean is mysterious, but mystery alone does not mean secrecy. The reason we haven't fully explored it is not because we found something terrifying. It's because the environment makes exploration incredibly difficult, expensive, and slow. Scientists do discover new species and unusual ecosystems, especially around hydrothermal vents, but these discoveries are published openly in scientific research. What actually fuels these conspiracy theories is the lack of visibility. Space missions are public, visual, and easy to follow. You see rockets launch, you see images from space, you see live broadcasts. Ocean exploration doesn't work like that. It happens in darkness, through instruments with limited visuals. That creates a perception that something is being hidden, even when it's not. Now step back and look at the bigger picture. It's not that we chose space over the ocean. It's that space offered faster, more visible progress. While the ocean resisted exploration at every step, space is dangerous, but predictable. The ocean is dangerous and unpredictable. Space lets you observe from a distance. The ocean forces you to go into it physically, where every meter deeper increases the risk. And that's the real answer. We didn't stop exploring the ocean, we just realized how hard it actually is. Even today, with advanced technology, the deep sea remains one of the least understood environments on Earth. Not because it's being hidden, but because it's still beyond our full reach. And maybe that's what makes it more unsettling than space, because it's not millions of kilometers away. It's right beneath us.